Going in. It's all the machinists out there. This ain't going in nobody's car ever. Okay? So I did not care which lifter I pulled out and where I threw it. Finito. I don't know how well she can show you this.
Keep still. Yeah. Oh.
Done.
Okay.
Okay. Let me put my glasses on for Grampy can see. Deer, right there. You see right there?
The line?
You see that little number?
4.
You see the little arrow right there?
Oh, yeah.
See the little number right there?
Mm-hmm.
Little arrow right there. So, see, there's number 2 right there. Little 1 right there. Okay? This rust on the rods came from 40 years of this being a brand new assembled motor and never being started other than 7 miles or so. Now, if she looks real close right here, there's the number 5 right there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You can't see it very well, but that's number 4. It's stamped on there. And you go over here, come over here. See, right over here. Can you get in there and see it?
I'm looking.
Right there. You should see a number 2. And over here, you should be able to see the number 1. Now that we've clarified that me putting the main caps in any place when I took them out and all that happy story that you're going with, which you were being informative, what young kids and everybody that don't know should know that they got to be numbered. If they're not numbered, take a little punch or something, put little dimple marks on a couple of them, mark it with a permanent marker, don't wash it off. However you do it, I don't care.
That one troll said you were a stupid old man, didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah. Okay, that would be the point to the story of what provoked me. But anyway, bar what you might think, I might not be the brightest tool in the shed, but I ain't a stupid old man. These rods are not going back in this engine. This engine might not go back into that car. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here, but I'm pretty sure that me being not a dumb old man, that this motor really belongs back in somebody's car that's a 69 number matching car that needs this block, other than this dumb old man taking it and blowing it up and putting a rod through the block. Okay? That being said, I think I can sell this stuff for enough money for the 4-bolt main that come out of a motorhome to have a rotating assembly, stroker kit, and a set of $2,500 heads that are round port, square port. All I know is they will be open chamber. I don't care what anybody says. I'm getting open chamber, free floating pistons, and really, really large pop-up pistons. Unless I have to go racing with people like the younger boy that said he's got a 5.3 with a turbo on it, that'll smoke me. And then we might go to flat top pistons and come at you with twin turbos, and in your 5.3 you might as well put a chain onto it, tie it to a boat, because it ain't gonna run that big block down. It just ain't gonna happen. Short of it getting worse and I buy a whole aluminum block and we shear off a whole lot of weight. Now, my opinion of a round port heads is a beautiful little engine you're building there. Got some good power, but in reality, the weight that you're having by using a big block doesn't justify your horsepower, because I believe you could build a 383, have a lighter motor in the front of the car by about 200 pounds, I do believe. It would outperform the big block on the street. But me, I'm keeping a big block because it looks nice, it's impressive. And I'll run, if I don't run my tri-power, I'll still run my straight flow intake because it looks pretty. I don't like all that piping. I know the 2 plane manifold is going to give you longer and shorter runners. And for y'all know, I do know because of freaking Cobras and years that the short runners are going to give you more torque at low end. The long runner is going to give you more horsepower. That's why tunnel ram's so tall. If you can get her up to 9.5 or some shit like this, you might get some super power out of it. On the street, it just looks good sticking out the hood. That's it. Unpractical. Now, that being said, a Cobra motor has butterfly plates in there. It gives you long and short runners. So all your runner and port size and all that high-tech technical stuff, you want to sit around and calculate it out. That's wonderful, and I'm proud for you. But if we go back in history and get accurate readings on production cars and their quarter-mile times, you will find out that a Hemi, matching number car, matching number tires, those little F70s or whatever the hell they had on the damn poor car, will not hold up to launch that car. And you'll be running a 14-second car to a 13.3, meaning that a 69 Trans Am Ram Air 5 will go heel to toe with your Hemi. You ain't got no tire, you ain't going nowhere. It's just that simple. The Daytona car is the same way. It can do 200 miles an hour. But if you ain't got that car tubbed out with some 33s, whatever type of slicks underneath of that thing, you're just gonna spin daylight all day long. Ain't going nowhere. 11, you'd be lucky to hit 1180s, unless you shoot friggin' 300 shots of NOS into it or some other nonsense of shit. But the bottom line of the story comes down to a naturally aspirated car without no nitrous, no turbo and all this, and the way that it came through the factory. A Javelin was one of the fastest production cars ever made, and the only one that would really freaking intimidate me is somebody that came out with a 67 stock Nova with a 327 in it, and he could have his little bi-plius tires on it, but it was a sleeper car, and it ran into the 13s too. You fiddle screw around with your gears, or you're slow on your shift, and this car will sizzle past you. So anyway, the minute your block says Dart on it or Merlin on it, you are no longer a Hemi, Chrysler product or Dodge product. And if your Chevy says Merlin on it or Dart, you are no longer a Chevy motor. And the more parts that you take off that don't say Chevy on them, or could be purchased through Chevy or Dodge or whatever, you don't own a Dodge. You own a Merlin. You own a Dart. You own a Keith Black Hemi. You don't own a Dodge. It's no longer a Dodge. But don't tell me you're coming at me with some Dodge thing. You're not. All you got is an emblem that says you're a Dodge. And that's my opinion of that. And anybody foolish enough to run a supercharged car with a naturally aspirated motor and thinking that they're going to win, really, truly, and anybody coming at you with a turbo car bragging on themselves, and you're naturally aspirated, really? No. You might. And let alone somebody with NOS on their car and a turbo. It's not the same. You didn't build an engine, you just friggin' built a bomb. That's what you got there. You might as well take a bottle of friggin' oxygen off the friggin' oxygen settling rack and hook it up to the carburetor and see how long it'll stay together. That's my opinion of that. So you didn't build a motor, you just gassed it to death. So anyway, so my machinist friend said about my diabetes and my blood sugar. I guarantee you right now, if we shoved in my little diabetes machine, my sugar is probably at about 100. Okay? I've had 2 pieces of toast this morning and a cup of coffee. What is it, 3 o'clock? Piss off.